Hello and welcome everybody. As you see at the bottom of the screen, Charles Davis reporting Smeagol-Axburg had a pretty impressive day for the Minnesota Vikings. That was a lie. The Minnesota Vikings back at it again after losing to Kansas City 42 to 58? 59? I do believe, is that what that says up top? As we look at this Minnesota Vikings roster, the answer for quarterback may be on the practice squad in Kyle Sloter. Accuracy is 87 against a 78 and an 82 here for these other two men. Stephen Campagna has been given the start here today. He's got the last 3 games off. Maybe, just maybe, Mike Zimmer thinks that he can use that time to progress here against these other teams. He's the more accurate quarterback as well. If we're taking a look at pure skills over here, his short, medium, deep is 90, 82, and 75. But Kyle Sloter might be an option to call up. You put one of these backup offensive linemen on the practice squad, or even you release somebody or trade him for a draft pick, you might be able to squeeze something out of this to get Kyle Sloter up if need be. All I know is we need to limit the turnovers or eliminate them altogether. So 1 week removed from being named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, Smeagol is not in the starting rotation here for the Minnesota Vikings. I say rotation because that's how every other position works, so we say that. Vikings at Cowboys. 4-4 Cowboys, a beatable team here as long as you contain Dak Prescott and, of course, Ezekiel Elliott. And for the Vikings, sitting at 2-7, bottom of the division, or tied for bottom of the division with the Green Bay Packers, I'm sorry. That'll be a game that we'll be watching as this game progresses. It's about eliminating the turnovers. Again, you had a multiple turnover game. Keep the ball on the ground. Do what's been working. Make short throws. Don't take any chances down the field because that is when things get messy. Now, I know Stephen Campagna is prone to fumbling on sacks. As far as I'm concerned, if it's not there within the first couple seconds of you dropping back, just throw it away. We'd take a hit to the completion percentage if it didn't mean giving the ball over to this potent Cowboys offense. Minnesota at Dallas. Sunday Night Football, 8:20 p.m. Here we go. And hello and welcome everybody. Stephen Campagna back under center for the Minnesota Vikings. Dak Prescott has more interceptions than touchdowns this season, 13 to 15. It is the Vikings. The Cowboys. Next. Hello and welcome from A&T Stadium, the crown jewel of Texas. Brandon Gott and Charles Davis as your TV commentators, but of course you're stuck here with Randy Replay. The roof is open. We still don't have a sideline analyst. If anybody's looking for a job, it pays pretty well. We need somebody, please. We'll take anybody. Just analyze what's going on the field. Minnesota Vikings will be wearing their home jerseys as the Dallas Cowboys normally do. They'll wear their traveling white jerseys. And just moments ago, hostile environment welcomed in their team with pyrotechnics and all. This mega complex place hosted a Sunday primetime game. Player to watch, Stephen Campagna and Cameron Quick. He had a big game last game. We will outline that with 7 catches, 134 yards, 1 touchdown, longest catch of 42 yards. Looking to repeat that performance again in the losing affair. Mike Zimmer's walking the sideline, saying hello to David Arnold, and Brandon Baker's getting this ball on the tee. Minnesota Vikings come in losers of their last 5 in a row. Dallas will receive the opening kickoff. Minnesota will receive the second halfer. Here we go. Brandon Baker's foot. Kaboom! And this game is underway. Once again, it will be another touchback. And we'll welcome in this Dallas Cowboys offense. We'll take a peek at what happens with the Packers game. 155-228, 18-19 yards. Sorry, 13-5. I was mistaken. Randy Replay makes more mistakes than he does make right calls here. So we'll see what happens here. Randy Replay has not checked the scores yet, so he does not know if the Packers won or lost their game today. We'll start out with an Ezekiel toss to the right side, brought down by Kenny Erickson. After a minimal gain, they might even give him one. Yeah, they'll give Ryan Bueller, rather. They'll give him one on the play. Keep your eye on that bar at the bottom. Dak Prescott looks left, throws left, caught. Rashid Spinks on the tackle. That is his first catch there for Randall Cobb. Ezekiel Elliott behind Prescott, and he's going to get the first down and a whole lot more, as that is another missed tackle, and Green Bay has lost, so they've fallen to 2-8. Carolina beat them swimmingly, 35-18. So another Prescott run thwarted. Josh Fitzer did not get it. Robert Nichols will finish him up after the gain of 4 on the play. You're only going to give him 3. Atlanta beating New Orleans earlier today. Scott Rethwell falls on Ezekiel Elliott after a run to the left side. It's 3rd and 9 now. So 3rd and 9, here we go. 3rd and 9, Prescott in the shotgun. Looks left, throws left. And it's intercepted. Robert Nichols, he could take this thing all the way back. Robert Nichols goes, and he gets outrun by 2 linemen. Robert Nichols, one of the fastest players on this team. 5th interception of the season. And he gets run down by 2 linemen. Let me put that into perspective. Robert Nichols' speed is above that of every defender in the league, and he gets run down by a lineman. Look at that, 2 of them to be exact. Just turned around. It was an Arnsdorf interception, but he robbed it. That's funny because his first name is Robert. So Rob robbed the pick from Arnsdorf. Stephen Campagna comes into the game here. This is his first playing time in about 4 weeks.
Come on, set 70.
If you remember, he got pulled from the game 4 weeks ago. Stephen Campagna with Sam Gable behind him in the single back. We run out of that more times than anybody in the league. And that will be a 3-yard gainer. Pick up of 3. Stephen Campagna under center now. The first throw for Campagna in 4 weeks is a completion to Sam Gable. Sam Gable, oh my goodness! He gets hit in the face. 7-yard gain, first down, Vikings. Aaron Moss behind Stephen Campagna now. Doesn't like what he sees. Audibles, quick throw to the left. It's Cole Smith. Cole Smith has been such a valuable player here as he brings it down to the 5-yard line, and the Minnesota Vikings are in the Monsoon Air red zone. 23-yard gainer on the play. This one, Stephen Campagna. Under center, high formation, showing heavy run. It's a play action. Short throw, Travis Lee steps out of bounds. He almost had the edge. So we go with a pass play here. Justin Vandershoff in the red zone. I don't need to remind you what has happened here when he has had the ball in the red zone. Gets the ball, goes up to the 2. That'll be 3rd and goal now. So 3rd and goal. Stephen Campagna, Vandershoff behind him in the single back. Campagna, man in motion. It's Lou Wang. Campagna gets the snap, throws Lou Wang's way, touchdown Vikings. Lou Wang hits the Fetty. So Lou Wang and Steven Campagna has his first touchdown throw in 4 weeks. As you can see, he did cross. And the Minnesota Vikings jump out to a 6-0 lead pending the kick. It might be 7. Brandon Baker's kick is away. Smeagol holds. It is good. So 7-0, 6 plays, 38-yard drive off the Robert Nichols interception. And now the Cowboys will have their second stanza on offense. Downed in the end zone by Tavon Austin across the board. Prescott in the shotgun. Makes the throw. It is caught, but it will be brought out of bounds by Jalen Myrick. So that will force a Dallas field goal attempt here just outside the 5-yard line. 22-yard attempt. Kick is away. It's a chip shot. Minnesota leads 7-3 now over Dallas. 3rd and 14. Campagna, not the pump fakes, but he does the short snap. Throws, it's picked. Why would you throw that ball? And this one is going for 6. So a 63-yard interception in return for Parks. Intended receiver was Darian Wilson. He let it float out there, and that's what you get every single time. Double covered. So again, the Minnesota Vikings opponents score off a turnover. This to make it 10-7, and it is good. So 10-7 Dallas here in Dallas. We'll see if we can't change that here on this next drive. There's the kick. Myrick will take it from his own 4 this time. Myrick, Jalen Myrick! No flags on the field. This one will go for a touchdown. Jalen Myrick. He splits and he spikes. Oh my goodness! 97 yards on the return. And here's Poitralamalu. Wah! Wowzers! Jalen Myrick splits it for his first touchdown of the season. Now, Jalen Myrick was brought in to do just that. Now, there's Steven Campagna. Look at what he's doing. He's hitting his helmet. He's visibly frustrated with his play. It's okay. The Minnesota Vikings, you knew they were going to do that. That's to make it 14-10. So the Minnesota Vikings lead for now. Picking up Dak Prescott was Robert Nichols earlier. You saw Campagna's reaction. He's visibly frustrated with his play here today. And Jalen Myrick, he was brought in to do just that, return kicks and play defense sparingly. He's turned into one of the best corners we have on roster. 3rd and 2. They call the blitz, and it's a hole found, and there is Amari Cooper. He's gone. Touchdown, Cowboys. They guessed run on 3rd and 2. They didn't account for Cooper. Wide open. Matthew Armsdorf, the only guy that could have got him, he just didn't do it. Wowzers. Just to make it 17-14, still a 3-point game. And it's good. 17-14 now, Dallas. Snap, kick. It's good. 17-17 now, so Brandon Baker pulls us back to a tie game. Bruce Ribs will return soon. Coming on the blitz, Thomas Cross will bring down Dak Prescott. Yum, 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 yum. Thomas Cross will get another sack on his season. It's now 3rd and 15. Also, Scott Rethwell was bearing down. They call a late blitz. And Ezekiel Elliott had to choose who he was going to pick up. 10-yard loss on the play, as you see. So here we go. Minnesota. Prescott gets the snap. It's a big throw. Batted away in the end zone. Rashid Spinks let the guy get behind him. That was Randall Cobb. But Paul Fritchie will bat it out of his hands in the middle of the air. Great play by the Vikings defense. They force another field goal attempt. Paul Fritchie. I would have said go for the interception, but what do I know? This to make it 20-17 rather. The snap, the kick is good. So 20-17, 4:48 left to go here in the first half. Campagna under center. He'll pump fake. Got an open man. Kind of looks. One-hander behind the back. Did you see that? 29-yard reception for Luke Slazewski, bringing his totals for 3 and 45. Steven Campagna again throwing into double coverage. That one was a one-hander behind the back. Oh my goodness! Look at that catch! Luke Slazewski. Odell Slazewski Jr. Second and goal. Gives it to Peterson again. He falls backwards for the touchdown. Vikings. Matthew Peterson spreads his arms wide, cooks it up and throws it up. Maybe a homage to LeBron James. But Matthew Peterson here, he's going to fall backwards into the end zone. He uses that big circumference there. Those big legs keep turning, and he just pushes his way through the line. Dak Prescott in the red zone at the 1. Ezekiel Elliott behind him. They send the blitz. It's a wide open throw. Jason Witten does it again. Holy cow. One of the best to ever do it. Nobody accounted for Witten. Almost blocked at the line of scrimmage by Kevin Stork. And oh my goodness. So it could be worse, it could be better. Dallas scored off of a turnover. We would be ahead by 10, but such is life in the NFL, especially for your Minnesota Vikings. At the half, your score is 27-24 Dallas. Let's take a look at other scores around the league. All these games will be a final. Los Angeles Chargers at Oakland. Earlier today, 28-21 Chargers take care of business. Phillip Rivers, 2 touchdowns in the affair. Derek Carr, 2 touchdowns as well. Now we travel to the east side as Baltimore will in fact take care of Cincinnati. They fall to 3-5. Ravens climb to 5-4. Lamar Jackson, 267, 2 touchdowns. And Brown with 9 catches for 180 yards. Other games around the league tomorrow. Be sure to tune in for Seahawks and 49ers. That will be on FSDN. And hello and welcome to your halftime break. Like we said, it could be better, but it could be worse. The Minnesota Vikings hanging in there. Steven Campagna, his first game in 4 weeks has been a good one, all things considered. He has 83.9 QB rating, 13 for 17. That is 76% completion percentage. For those of you that didn't know how to do math or didn't look over here. He only has 94 yards, but he has a touchdown and he has a touchdown and 1 interception that was returned to the house. Travis Parker and Justin Vandeshoff lead the team in carries. 4 for 26 Parker. Vandeshoff has 4 for 13. Receiving, Luke Slazewski resurges here. 3 for 45. Sam Gable, 2 for 15. And Cole Smith, 2 for 32 as well. Nobody cares about block. We're going to go to defense. Look, total tackles. It's Rashid Spinks and Aaron Nelson leading the team with 5. Rashid Spinks leads the team in season tackles coming into today's game. Tackles for loss, Jalen Myrick, Jeremy Lindsey, David Arnold, and Scott Rethwell, each with 1. We got to Dak Prescott 1 time in the first half. Thomas Cross, of course. 1 interception by Robert Nichols. 2 pass deflections by Paul Fritchie, 1 of them in the end zone, saving a big touchdown. No fumble recoveries, no block kicks, no safeties, and no defensive touchdowns for your Minnesota Vikings. Kicking, Brandon Baker, 1 for 1, longest of 35, 3 for 3 on extra points in the first half. Kick return, 5 kick returns, 1 touchdown. His longest, 91. We're going to get you back out to AT&T Field, where hopefully I can call a Minnesota Vikings win. This would be a big win for the Minnesota Vikings. Since the Packers lost their game, this will put us in sole owners of third place if we get the victory. This has been Randy Replay. I will see you in just a moment. But this to tie the game. Brandon Baker's kick right down the middle. It's good. 27-27 now. 7:50 left to go here in the third. Prescott throws. Amari Cooper's wide open in the end zone again. I don't know what you got to do here. I really don't know what you have to do. Another Amari Cooper touchdown. He was wide open. He sees something in the defense he doesn't like. Another interception by the Cowboys. And you've got to see that Sean Lee is lurking there. That's a heartbreaker. That is a heartbreaker for sure. Toss, give it to Elliott. Elliott will get the touchdown again. Minnesota Vikings can't bring him down. I don't know what's going on here. This is really bad. It's 40-27. Running game goes completely out the window now. You could still do a couple things here. Oh my God.
Hey, let's go. Interception. All day, baby. Let's get this.
Ezekiel Elliott turns, gives it to Elliott, and he's in for the touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott not even touched on his way to the end zone. And this is bad. We're down by 20 now. Minnesota Vikings. Polamalu. Polamalu, get him now! No! Polamalu was almost there. Quick play, there's a touchdown. And that will be the game. Vikings defense will flip. Back of the end zone. Oh my heavens, are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. Well, there's your Monsoon Air Mercy rule if you were looking for it. Kenny Erickson was there, just didn't do enough there. And that will do it, the Minnesota Vikings. And Mike Zimmer is visibly frustrated. Still at the bottom of the division. You had an opportunity, you had a good game plan, but you got away from it after the second half. Now, why did you do that? The sacks, the turnovers. Oh my heavens. Vikings gave up 21 points off turnovers. This game would have been a little bit closer had we not have turned the ball over 3 times. 21 points off 3 turnovers given up by the Minnesota Vikings here today. So we'll get into these post-game stats, get you back to the main screen, and preview next week for whatever it's worth. It's against Denver, and then we go into our bye week. For Stephen Campagna, he had a 69.7 QB rating, 21 for 35, 60% completion percentage, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, and of course the 3 picks. In the running game, Aaron Moss was 6 for 43, Sam Gable 4 for 38, Justin Vanderschaft 4 for 13, Travis Parker 4 for 26, Terrence Freelix 3 for 25, Matthew Peterson 2 for 2 with 1 touchdown. Darian Wilson 2 for 13 on end-arounds, Jesse Peterson 1 for -4 on the failed end-around, and then Stephen Campagna 1 for 10 today. In the receiving game, it was Luke Slazewski led the team in catches and yards. 4 catches, 120, and a touchdown. Cole Smith, the resurging wide receiver, 4 catches, 62 yards. Sam Gable 2 for 15. Cameron Quick 2 for 3. Rather modest day from last week's incredible performance. Darian Wilson 2 for 26 yards. Justin Vanderschaft 2 for 19. Travis Lee 2 for 21. Aaron Moss 1 for -4. Jesse Peterson 1 for -4, which is rare for him. Aaron Moss 1 for 24. Lou Wang just 1 catch, 1 touchdown, 2 yards on the day. Nobody cares about blocking. We're going to go to defense and look at total tackles. And it's Rashad Spanks with 10 tackles on the day. Oh my God. Aaron Nelson with 8. Thaddeus Rosu with 7. David Arnold with 6. Jalen Myrick, Justin Lewis, Paul Fritchie, Zachary Anderson with 5. Robert Nichols, who had an interception today, with 4. Poitras Alamalu, Jeremy Lindsay, Scott Rethwell with 3. Josh Fitzer, Garrett Bradbury, Thomas Cross, Brandon Baker with 2. Arnsdorf, Fair, Betonio, Sean Clausen, Terrell Oliver, Kenny Erickson, Ryan Beeler each had 1. Tackles for loss, we had a ton. David Arnold had 3 by his little bitty lonesome. Zachary Anderson and Rashad Spinks split 2. Aaron Nelson, Jeremy Lindsay, Scott Rethwell, Robert Nichols, and Jalen Merrick each had 1. Sacks we only got to 1 time by Thomas Cross. Interceptions, we only intercepted Dak Prescott 1 time today. Must be nice. Robert Nichols took it back 22 yards, stepped out of bounds. Pass deflections, we had quite a bit. 2 by Paul Fritchie, 1 in the end zone, touchdown saving play. Luke Slazewski had to play defender with 1 of those passes towards the end of the game. And Cole Smith did the same. No forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, no safeties, no defensive touchdowns for your Minnesota Vikings. And this one. Brandon Baker, 2 for 2, 100%. Longest of 35, 4 for 4 on extra points. Taylor Pulleen just had 1 punt, 80, netting 33. In the kick return game, 9 kick returns, 1 touchdown, max of 91. I know on the call I said 97. But, you know, we all make mistakes. Randy Replay makes a ton. Deal with it. Punt returns. No punt returns for the Minnesota Vikings. We did not even force them into a 3-and-out. So Minnesota loses another big one. Still at the bottom of the division. Still tied with the Packers. This late season matchup looking more and more like this is the battle for the bottom of the barrel in the NFC North. This has been Randy Replay. I will see you in just a moment. And hello and welcome back to the main screen. Oh my goodness. Another loss in the Vikings season. We dropped to 2-8. We are now tied for the bottom of the barrel yet again with the Green Bay Packers. The Bears keep winning. The Lions keep winning. Must be nice. Coming up next, we have the Denver Broncos coming in at 4-5. So kind of the same thing. They don't really have an identity. The defense is going to be tough here. Especially Von Miller. We'll have to double him up every single rush here. So after this week, we have our bye week. And then we go to Seattle. We're back home for Detroit. We're away at the Chargers. And then we finish off the season with the Packers and the Bears, I do believe. Of course, not in that order. Yes, Packers and Bears at home. So after a tough 3 out of 4 games on the road, we lost 5 in a row. And We need a win. If we can get a win going into the bye week, I just don't know what the answer is at quarterback. That is our struggle position, our bugaboo, if you will. Once again, your Minnesota Vikings lose in Texas, 62-34. This is starting to become not fun to commentate these games if you're Andy Replay, because they get out to a good start, right? I mean, they get out to a great start. I think going into the half, this thing was tied, and then a different team showed up after the halftime break. I'd like to be a fly on the wall in the locker room at the half and see what took place. But I'm not a fly. I am a human being. This has been Randy Replay.